a tutti, here's Claudina and
Katarzyna.
from Enjoy Sicily, and in today's podcast we're gonna take you for the weekend in Palermo. It's our first day here. We just arrived a few minutes ago with train from Messina, and it's already evening, so we're not gonna see too much today, but we can't wait for the adventures in the next days. Buonasera. Arancini a pistacchio e scamorza. So far, after first half an hour in Palermo, my experience is nice. There is a lot of big, nice buildings and big streets, and there is much less trash and mess than in Messina. We already tried nice street food. What did we eat? Arancini with con pistacchio, scamorza, and fiori di zucca. Yes, and it was really very deep fried and very nice with sauces. So far so good. Buongiorno. It's the second day of our Palermo adventure, and we are staying at the place of other Erasmus volunteers that are working here in Palermo, and we are staying in a nice flat of 3 volunteers from Poland and 2 from Spain. And this morning we went with them to participate in the part of the project they are making. So we went to this crazy garden outside of Palermo, and we were helping them with some works here in the garden. And right now we kind of finished and we are making the barbecue here. And there is some people from Spain and Poland.
Sì, vedi molte cose nuove ma non riesci a fare le radici, no?
Okay, so greetings from our vegan barbecue afternoon party. I try to talk with some of the other volunteers from here about their life, about their projects. So let's see.
In siciliano scunzaioko. Scunzaioko in siciliano. Mica si dice scunzaioko. Scunzaioko.
Ciao, I'm here with Adam. He's the volunteer from Poland, and he's staying here for the long-term volunteering program in Palermo. Hello, Adam. Ciao.
Ciao ragazzi.
I'm ragazza, not ragazzi. I'm one person.
Expecting for different genders of people to be listening to it, and then we use the ragazzi. Another lesson from Italian, my dear.
Grazie mille. Okay, so can you tell me a bit more about your project? What are you doing here in Palermo?
Okay, so basically this is the project of the European Solidarity Corps program. So the same you guys are participating. We are here for 8 months, volunteering in an NGO called Human Rights Youth Organization. And basically, to put it to the biggest shortcut, we are helping them in carrying out their regular projects they would be carrying on normally, and we are kind of the support for them, the international support with our point of views, and it's also an opportunity for us to get to know a little bit more about the third sector, how they function, how the project implementation looks like, how the planning looks like, and to try our own skills in implementing and executing them. So basically there's a lot of stuff that we don't know how to do, and we learn by practice how to do this. So in a way, the non-formal education methods put into the practice.
Okay, that sounds interesting. And what is this crazy place that we are here right now? What is this place?
Okay, so currently we are at Terra Franca, and this is the name of an area that has been confiscated from mafia a couple of years ago and given to our organization by the government in order to conduct social program in here. And basically this program being revitalizing this land in order to be of a public use. So currently this is an abandoned construction site that there's nothing except for a lot of concrete and some bushes. And the idea is that within the next 10 years there should be a recreational area, a library, a sort of place for people to come here and use it. Not any sort of one dedicated target, but different groups could come here and carry out their own projects, chill in here, a lot of things, usually dedicated for mostly dedicated for the youth and for the children.
That sounds cool as well. And how long are you staying so far in Palermo, in Sicily?
So I have just crossed my middle point, and I came at the end of September, so basically over 5 months already. I have less than 3 months left. I'm leaving at the end of May. So this is the finishing line, basically. And after getting some time in order to get acquainted with the place, with the environment, with the organization, now I would say we are at a peak of our productivity, our feeling of being confident, and also learning new stuff.
Okay, cool. And what do you think about your experience in Palermo? How do you like Palermo itself? Like living in Sicily, what is the difference between living in beautiful Poland and the beautiful Sicily?
So my experience in here has been kind of sinusoidal, with its ups and downs. Sinusoidal, with its ups and downs. And so the initial month was very at the top because new place, new people, new environment. Then unfortunately,
Restrictions, right?
see, like the pandemic was not here, kind of. So later on, the restrictions came in. There was a difficult moment when you started to get overwhelmed by the language barrier. Because I do not speak Italian, and in here, in general, the public does not really speak English. So it was very difficult to get through that wall of the language barrier. So it was the moment when a lot of factors overlapped on each other. So the pandemic, the language barrier, winter coming, new place, new people, no friendly faces. So a lot of stuff. It was a difficult moment, but also a very valuable lesson on how to deal with situations like this, how to deal with yourself, how to motivate yourself, how to make yourself stand up from the bed and get the motivation to do more things and not to get too overwhelmed by the feelingness of loneliness and lack of motivation. And right now we are back at the peak, when after kind of literal spring, both in the terms of the nature and in the terms of the mentality. So again, getting new motivation and the new boost. And as I said, we are at the peak of our effectiveness and cooperating with the association. So this is kind of a good moment. When it comes to Palermo, well, the first was the initial shock with the lack of organization, with a lot of garbage lying around. And
you haven't seen Messina, I think.
Well, there are some districts of Palermo that I guess could really nicely compete with Messina.
Maybe I haven't seen everything now. I haven't seen anything so far, so maybe.
Well, so just wait for the weekend to end and then you will have a completely different opinion. However, it was a big shock between the Poland, which is kind of organized in various terms when it comes to traffic, the behavior of the people on the sidewalk. So, for example, you wait for the green light. In here, it doesn't exist such a term as waiting. No, you just go in. A lot of garbage lying around. So this was the first shock, and then getting to know the people, local people, which are so welcoming, super positively, super positive towards you. Their attitude.
Really open for getting to know new people, even if you are not really Italian speaking.
Exactly. They also really appreciate if you try to speak Italian, even if it's just some words that you completely mispronounce and you do it badly, and they will still cheer you up and motivate you to keep on trying. So this is a very motivating factor in order to try the language, even if you don't feel super confident with it. And also they've mastered the art of small small talk in here, and you can experience it everywhere, whether you're listening to it or you're experiencing it, and everyone kind of gets involved into this very sympathetic but short small talk, exchange of the basic greetings, asking maybe some very short questions, answering very shortly as well. It's nothing deep, but it kind of gives you like this positive attitude, like it makes you smile. So for example, you go by train and you have the ticket control, and the guy in the train asks you, hey guys, where are you heading to? What are we doing? Oh yeah, we go to Terra Franca. Whoa, that sounds so cool. Like this kind of basic conversations that last maybe 40 seconds, and then they go on to the next client, the next person. But this like kind of fills you up with this energy and positivity that you want to have interactions with other people. So it's kind of like the sparkle that goes from one person to another.
Yeah, just being nice and having like a nice attitude is really, it's kind of saying you're doing it to the other people as well, and it's the kind of making your day in like a such a easy way.
Exactly, like the chain reaction of the small positive sparkles that you pass on the other human beings. So this was the except for the weather, of course, which is super sunny in here, and the winter basically does not exist the way we know it, for example, in Poland. But this attitude of the strangers towards you, they would really want to help you out, even if they have no business in helping you. So, for example, when you go to a store, you look for something. Though, for example, it was the case of for me looking for jewelry. And the one store I visited was too expensive, and I didn't find anything I like, but I couldn't speak any Italian. The lady who was in that shop could speak a little bit of English, so she left her shop open and took me on a walk in different jewelry stores around in order to help me explain myself, because she told me okay, they don't really speak English, so okay, come with me, It's like this super generosity, and then you're suddenly wow, these people are just so nice, they genuinely want to help you out, and they want to be a nice person and to give you a hand, and they take a real pleasure out of helping others. So I think this is a super important observation and kind of lesson, and something that I would implement in my own ritual and way of being more open.
Also in Poland, I mean, it's just something that we are lacking in Poland sometimes. Not everyone, not saying it's changing, but it's not so obvious that everyone is so open-minded and so helpful, so happy, and so into small talks and helping you in any way. So
totally agreeable. And I also think that we have some sort of inside fear of getting too involved into someone else's life, and I think this is something like this initial barrier that just needs a little bit of push in order to destroy. For example, when I was in Spain and I got used to, when I was entering shops, saying very enthusiastic "Hola" with a smile on my face, which in Poland we don't really do, for example. But I started implementing this in Poland, of course, not using "Hola", but a different words like "Dzień dobry" or something, and I could see the expression of the faces of the people. They were genuinely surprised. Wow, such a nice customer. I'm gonna be nice to him as well. So it's this nice to see this change.
Exactly, I have the same experience when I was after going to different countries when they are more into small talks and being smiles in the normal situations, in the shops and things like that. I started doing it in Poland, and it's not we are so closed and we are so sad all the time. It just no one is starting it, and when I started to do it, it was just happening normally. And finally, all the nice shoppers all the ladies were smiling, being nice, and were kind of surprised how nice it can be during a normal day. So that's super cool. We can change it. Everyone can change it, I think.
Exactly. It's I guess it's very important knowledge just to know that little change can affect something bigger in return. Kind of like a snowball, and you never know. I mean, of course, this is the work on the basis, but it's still nice to see that even your local environment kind of reacts to it, and you have this nice interaction in the shop. And who knows, maybe the next time you come in, the person behind the counter will now come up with the positive sparkle to you, because she or he remembered that. So I believe that, and it's also kind of the lesson from this experience, because what we do in here is basically the work at the fundamentals. So at the very ground level, not something very influential for the whole society, but maybe for 2, 3, 4 people, teenagers or someone. And you see how this little change can later on grow out to something bigger, kind of the butterfly effect. And you cannot really predict how it work, but you see that it matters, It's a small change, but it matters. And for someone else's life, you brought some smile and some inspiration, perhaps, some knowledge, and the change of their perception of things and whatever. And you can see that this sort of work at the basis. Makes sense.
Yeah, thank you. That's nice. Molto bene. Grazie mille for the conversation and enjoy your nice grilled zucchini.
No, grazie mille per te. I'm gonna enjoy just going back to keep looking on the fire. Thank you.
Cool, thank you.
Coffee there.
In the workshop area.
Artisan area, kind of.
Yeah. There, the garden, vegetable garden.
Ciao, come ti chiami?
Scusa, in italiano, però. In English. Okay.
What's your name?
My name is Abril. I come from Spain. I'm 26 years old, and I'm currently volunteering in Palermo, in Sicily.
Where are you from Spain? Which city?
I'm from Madrid, actually.
Okay, and how long are you staying in Palermo so far?
So I've been here for 5 months. I was starting a project that lasted 6 months, but now I find some internships, so I know for sure I'm going to stay 6 more months.
Okay, cool. And how do you enjoy staying here so far?
Well, I really like it. I feel like the culture is really similar to Spanish culture, so I'm feeling really good here. Yeah, I'm feeling like home. I'm here also to learn the language, and I thought 6 months is not enough, so maybe a year can help me out.
I think it's kind of easy for if you're like a Spanish speaker to learn Italian. It's kind of similar, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. It's so similar, but the challenge is another one, that is trying to separate the Spanish and the Italian, right? Because there are so many words that are similar, then sometimes I'm just using Spanish words, and I know everybody understands me, but they're not correct. And
yeah, I know. I mean, it's similar in Polish with Russian or Czech or something like that. So it's kind of good. It's kind of easier, and it's easier to communicate, but it's not like using the real language, to be honest.
It's definitely easier, but it's just challenging in another way, I guess.
And what is your project about here? What are you doing here, basically?
Because of the COVID, we cannot meet with a lot of people, and there are a lot of projects that have been stopped, and we cannot continue with them anymore. So I think it was interesting also to find ways to develop the projects anyways, even if we couldn't meet with the people, but do something online. And for example, we have the English cafe, which they usually used to meet face to face and just have conversations in English, so people can improve their English level and just practice conversation. And now we're doing it online. So I think it was really nice how we adapted the programs in our online version. And now that we can go out a bit more and we can organize more stuff, events and stuff like this because of the restrictions, we're getting more involved with the kids in the capo in one of these neighborhoods that is a bit difficult and complicated.
Okay, so like in real life, work will start right now as well. I mean, I heard that you are starting the English cafe as well right now in real life, like not online.
Yes, exactly. But we just heard that we're gonna turn into red zone again in a few days. So.
Oh, really?
I think they're reading the news and they say that we might stay in these holidays that they're coming, Easter. They're gonna move to red zone.
Yeah, that's the COVID life on Erasmus. I think you never know what's gonna happen. Yeah, but how was it so far? Because you're staying here for 5 months and it was changing all the time. I think like the zones and things like that. How it influenced your like Erasmus volunteering life?
Well, in a professional way, not that much, or in the volunteer aspect, not that much, because we knew we were working from home anyways, and even though the situation were changing one day from another, we knew that we couldn't meet anybody, we couldn't go to the office anyways, so it didn't change much. Personally, it was a bit more difficult because, of course, you wake up one day and you don't know if you're going to be able to have a beer in a bar or you just do a walk, and if somebody's going to ask you to have permissions and stuff like this. So it was a bit difficult. We were also thinking if the situation was getting worse, to go back to Spain for good, but luckily we didn't. We spent here Christmas even because it was also hard to travel back home, and it was fun at the end. It was really fun, a nice experience.
Yeah, cool. And because you told that it's pretty similar cultures, like Spanish and Italian culture, what are the differences then? Do you see any differences that are the biggest ones or something?
Well, I guess they are more family orientated in these holidays, Christmas, stuff like this. Instead, I think in Spain, young people are more used to going out with friends, right? So we do dinner with our family and everything, but then we
Going to the party.
go to a party. Oh, well, it used to be like that before exactly. It used to be like that. But I think they are way more family orientated and more traditional than the Spanish. But more or less in the same. We're all Christians, we're all moved by the same holidays, let's say, right? And the same values, I don't know. And so we're quite similar on that, yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank you for the intervista. Grazie mille. Ciao.
Grazie a te.
Aspetta, lo dico, no, non dirlo. Sal. Ecco.
From spicchio to spicchio, it's like...
We are now in a really nice elevator to our flat. It's an old school one. You can hear the voices of it. Floor 2. There is even a painting in the elevator. The sounds of the city. Buongiorno. It's the third day of our adventure in Palermo. We had a nice scrambled tofu in the morning, and the first thing we came to see was going to Monte Pellegrino. We didn't get there yet, but we stopped before getting to the top of the mountain, and we got the recommendation for the cave. So we are right now in front of the cave, and then I will try to record something from the cave because I think that may be nice acoustics. Okay, I'm right now in the middle of the cave. It's dark here. I cannot see anything. It's just some water drops from the up, and I don't know, it's like 30 meters long. It's nice. I think it's not like a touristic place in Palermo, but thank you for the recommendations, Adam. Kaha is coming to join me, I think, right now. Woo! Kaka! Buongiorno. Ciao. Allora, so we get to the top of Monte Pellegrino, and it's really nice view on the panorama of the city and to the sea. It's beautiful weather today, and yeah, it's pretty hot. And there was a sanctuary on the top, and yeah, it was nice to see the Palermo from the up. And right now we're gonna get to the city finally during the daytime. Okay, so we just ate Italian gelato.
Pistacchiosa.
And Kasia took... What did you take?
Gelato e caffè.
Pistacchiosa and cioccolato, and I took the vegan pistachio and the chocolate as well. And I took the typical Sicilian version of it, so it's not in the cone, but it's in the brioche. So it's It's kind of like a sandwich ice cream or ice cream kebab or something like this, which was interesting. The gelato itself was really nice, but to put it in the bread, it was a bit too much for me, and I'm dying right now. But still, like a nice experience. Nice to try it, something new. Soon
We will be eating again.
Soon we will be eating again. We are treating ourselves today because soon it will not be possible at all to eat in the restaurants in Sicily because it's changing. In 2 days it's changing to the orange zone of restrictions. So we are treating ourselves and we are going to the restaurant, pizzeria in Palermo. Because at 6 they're closing the possibility to sit inside, and in 2 days it will be impossible, maybe forever. So we are going for a pizza now. There's so many people outside on the streets and in the restaurant. It's crazy. Allora, so we went to this pizza place, which was really nice. The pizzeria was in the center of Palermo, and there was really good, kind of fancy, I would say, with really good ingredients, but it was still in the affordable price. So, good point for you, Italy, for having nice pizza prices almost always. The pizza was amazing. We had like nice ingredients like burrata, mozzarella di bufala, pesto di pistacchio, and things like that. And it was amazing. And then we met with Adam, and he took us for a walk around the city to show us how he sees the city, as he is living here since half year. And yeah, we saw we made a really nice walk. It was early evening, and we saw the amazing churches and the cathedral. And I liked the most Mercato di Ballaro, actually, even though it was kind of ugly, but it was a really interesting place. It was just really close to the center of the city, among many beautiful churches, but it was so messy. It was like a marketplace where people were selling so many different weird things that, I don't know, they found on the streets or in the trash or they stole or something. But it was for the whole day, and he said that it's like every day there. So it was already an evening and there were still so many people selling all these weird things. And there were also vegetables and things like that. But he said that it's really possible that if someone is stealing something from you, you can just go the next day to this mercato and then you can find it, because his friend found her laptop the day after it was stolen there. So yeah, that's pretty interesting place, I could say. And yeah, we went to chill by the sea for a bit, and yeah, that was a really nice day. Ciao! It's Sunday morning and it's the last day of our Palermo trip. Still a beautiful weather, super sunny, and this morning we went to the flea market that is happening on Piazza Marina, with a lot of weird things as well, but a bit more organized than the Mercato di Ballaro, as I remember correctly. And yeah, there was a lot of old school weird things and vinyls and other stuff. We bought some postcards, old postcards, like small plants, and yeah, that was a cool thing to start the morning with. We also ate triplo, panini triplo with the panelle. Panelle is kind of fried chickpea flour thing. It was also with aubergine, melanzane, and fries. So yeah, that was really nice things to start the day with. And right now the plans are that we are going to Mondello, which is the beautiful, they say, beach like area really close to Palermo. So we are waiting for the bus right now, and yeah, we should meet there with Adam and Ada as well. They went by bike, but we don't have bikes here, unfortunately. And yeah, we want to see the beach, and we want to see there should be like a natural reserve park, Capogallo. Then maybe you can still enter there, even though there is COVID around. But I hope we'll see some nice nature places this time. So yeah, let's go. The bus. We got to Mondello Beach, and beautiful colors, beautiful beach. The sea is blue. You can see the cliffs and the mountains around. Some people chilling, boats. Kasia, say something.
I love this azzurro color of the sea and the sky.
If you go to Capogallo soon to meet the rest. Nice Sunday on the beach. Okay, our feet are going to the water. I'm pretty excited. It's the first time my feet will touch the Sicilian water.
Yeah, and it's the first time this year for me.
Oh my gosh! Amazing! Let's go!
Okay, it's cold.
Yeah, it's not like the warmest water I was putting my feet in, but I mean, it's not like ice cold, you know.
But I'm glad that
Still worth it. It's super clear, actually. The sounds of the sea. So Capogallo was great. It was like a kind of close private area. You need to pay €1 for getting in. It's so close to the Mondello beach, and there was like almost no people in this area at this time. We met there with Ada and Adam, and we were going around the more natural stuff with stones and the sea, and you could see wonderful cliffs from there. It was really chill, and it was nice to be more in the nature for some time. How did you like it, Kasia?
it was great. I recommend.
Thank you, Kasia. So right now we have the opinion from two sides that it was a great experience. Right now it's already almost evening, kind of dark, and we had difficulties with finding the bus because it's changing as always everywhere because it's Italy. No offense. But maybe it will be possible for us to get on time for the train. It'd be nice to eat something as well, but that's life. C'est la vie. przepukamy i dam wam znać, co z tymi liczbami.
Ciao, mordo. Podróży.
Również miłego chillowania, dobrego życia. Going out of the...
We are very sad. We really enjoyed this weekend in Palermo, and
Miss our new friends.
it's always hard to say goodbye.
Say goodbye. The sounds of Kasia going back to Messina. Laura, so after many difficulties we finally got on the train. Fortunately we were on time, even though the buses in Palermo were not nicely collaborating with us, I would say, and we almost died from hunger, but then we found time to get some veggie burgers, so oof. So greetings from the train from Palermo to Messina. It's the end of our adventure. Kasia, what did you like?
Because I really liked this journey.
What did you like in Palermo the most and in this weekend?
First of all, I like the smell of the spring, which hit me when I arrived. And I like that there are many green areas, many parks. There are also spaces when people can gather and spend time together. Also people, there are many original people in Palermo. They look very creative and open-minded, and really everything was almost perfect. Even why are you laughing, Claudina?
I just have a runny nose, sorry.
Oh, okay, never mind. So yeah, I like also the beach.
It just really moved me. I'm almost like crying right now.
I liked also the beach, Mondello, and yeah, what else? There are some bicycle paths in Palermo, which I miss in Messina, because I love cycling. And yeah, there are also street art. It is almost in every corner, and it makes this city more interesting, because even if the building is kind of ruined, if there is also the street art, it is more valuable and more interesting. So really, I recommend everyone to
Palermo recommended by Kasia.
totally, really. Yeah.
Yeah, I like this as well. I like also the ugly places with the street art was nice, and also the crazy markets. I like the people the most, that we had opportunity to meet really many interesting and cool people in such a short period of time, and that the city seems to be much more lively than other places in Sicily. And of course right now it's not that level because it's impossible during the pandemic, but still it looks like it is normally in the normal days. So that was cool. And yeah, I love that architecture, the really wide streets and really pretty buildings in the center. Also, the ugly buildings had a nice atmosphere as well. And yeah, I think it was a really nice and successful weekend, Katarzyna. And
Remember this weekend forever.
great. And this is the end. This is the end.
Thank you for being with us.
Thank you for listening to our weird experimental podcast. I hope you felt like you were with us at least a bit. And maybe see you or still listen to us the next travel or something. We will see if the pandemic will allow us to do something like that. But thank you for being with us. Ciao.
Ciao a tutti.